Whenever I think back on Joseph's story, I always picture that infamous coat, the one that basically screamed, "Dad likes me best." That thing caused so much trouble.
Joseph's coat was basically a billboard for favoritism, right? I can totally imagine the brothers rolling their eyes every time he strutted past in it. It's such a classic setup for sibling rivalry.
Oh, absolutely. And it wasn't just the coat. Joseph seemed to have a knack for making things worse for himself. Like, he couldn't keep those wild dreams to himself.
That's the thing. Imagine having dreams where your whole family bows down to you, then actually telling them about it over breakfast. That's not the way to win friends at home.
Those dreams really set everything in motion. It's almost like Joseph couldn't help but share, even if it cost him.
He comes across as kind of naive, honestly. But then again, the story hints those dreams were more than just teenage boasting. They pointed towards something bigger.
It's interesting because the dreams are so symbolic. Sheaves, stars, sun, and moon, it's all layered. But at that point, the brothers just saw a brat, not a prophet.
And their reaction is pretty extreme. Instead of ignoring him, they let jealousy really fester. That's where things start to get dark.
So, one day Joseph goes out to check on his brothers, and you can just feel the tension. They see him coming and immediately start plotting.
It's wild how quickly they jump to, let's get rid of him. Even Reuben, trying to save him, can only soften the plan from murder to throwing him in a pit.
Yeah, and then Judah's idea takes over. Why not sell him and make a profit? It's cold but sort of practical in its own twisted way.
That moment changes everything. Joseph goes from being the favorite son to a slave, just like that. And the brothers go home with a bloodied coat and a secret.
The aftermath is just heartbreaking. Jacob is devastated, he thinks his beloved son is dead, and you really sense the weight of the loss.
Meanwhile, Joseph's whole life is flipped upside down. One minute he's dreaming about greatness, the next he's shackled on his way to Egypt. That's a brutal wake-up call.
Yeah, and it's such a harsh contrast. At home, there's mourning. In Egypt, Joseph is entering a world he never imagined.
What strikes me is how quickly things unravel for both Joseph and his family. The fallout just keeps rippling out.
Joseph's arrival in Egypt could have been the end of his story, but instead he actually starts to thrive in Potiphar's house. That resilience is incredible.
He really stands out. Potiphar sees his talent and integrity and puts him in charge of everything. That's not something you'd expect from a slave fresh off the caravan.
And the text keeps repeating, "The Lord was with Joseph." It's like even in the worst circumstances, there's this undercurrent of hope.
It makes you wonder, how does someone hold on to their values when they've lost everything? Joseph's faith just seems unshakable here.
Things take another wild turn with Potiphar's wife. She tries to seduce Joseph, and even when he refuses, it all goes sideways.
That's got to be one of the toughest moments. He could have made excuses, but instead he risks everything by standing his ground.
And then, instead of being rewarded, he's thrown into prison based on a total lie. That must have felt like the ultimate betrayal.
What I find powerful is that Joseph's integrity actually gets him into trouble here, but he doesn't seem to waver. That's real conviction.
Even in prison, Joseph doesn't just survive, he ends up running the place. It's almost unbelievable how his leadership shines, no matter where he lands.
And the trust he earns from the prison keeper says a lot. You'd think after so much injustice, Joseph might just give up. But instead, he finds a way to make the best of it.
It's a pattern with him, no matter the setback, he adapts. That ability to pivot is a huge part of why his story is so compelling.
Totally. It's like every pit Joseph falls into just becomes another platform for his character to show.
While he's in prison, Joseph's dream interpreting abilities come back into play with the butler and the baker. It's such a cool twist.
And both dreams come true, one restored, one executed. Joseph asks the butler to remember him to Pharaoh, but gets forgotten for 2 whole years. That must have been rough.
It's almost like every time hope flickers, it gets snuffed out, but Joseph just keeps showing up, doing what he's good at.
Yeah, and that patience really pays off, because when he's finally remembered, it changes everything.
So, Pharaoh has these troubling dreams, skinny cows eating fat cows, shriveled grain. No one can explain it, and suddenly the butler remembers Joseph.
That's Joseph's moment. He gets cleaned up, brought before Pharaoh, and doesn't just interpret the dreams, he suggests a plan to save the country. That's serious initiative.
It's wild to think a Hebrew prisoner solving Egypt's biggest crisis. And Pharaoh is so impressed, he basically hands Joseph the keys to the kingdom.
Talk about a plot twist. Joseph goes from forgotten inmate to prime minister in one conversation. That's just epic storytelling.
What stands out to me is how Joseph's gift for dreams isn't just mystical, it's super practical. He uses it to plan, stockpile grain, and save lives.
Right. It's not fortune-telling for show. His wisdom has real consequences. Because of his planning, nations survive a famine that could have been catastrophic.
It also hints at something deeper, like maybe all the random, painful pieces of Joseph's life were pointing him toward this moment all along.
It's one of those stories where you only see the meaning of the suffering looking back. That sense of mysterious providence runs through every scene.
If I had to sum up Joseph's whole journey, integrity leaps out, he does the right thing, even when it costs him everything.
And then there's the suffering. Joseph faces betrayal, false charges, abandonment, pretty much everything. Yet, somehow, all that pain shapes him into the leader Egypt needs.
It's almost poetic. The things meant to destroy him end up forging his character and his destiny.
That's why Joseph's story resonates so much. It's a testament to how adversity can actually position you for something bigger.
By the end, Joseph has a new name, a high office, even a family. It looks like he's moved on, but the famine brings his past right back to his doorstep.
It's the ultimate twist. He's finally at peace. And then here come his brothers, desperate for help. You can just feel the tension building for that reunion.
It's almost cinematic. After all that time, the story circles back to forgiveness and reconciliation. Next episode is going to be a wild ride.
I'm already bracing for the tears and the drama. The whole saga comes full circle, and it's incredibly moving.